So they're getting his drink.
With my beer, with my drink.
All right. Well, welcome to another week of Where's George? Don't mind the cough. It's spring. It's the South. It's pollen. We're good. Okay. It's nobody got the Rona. Okay, everybody,
That's right.
okay,
Nobody got time for that.
when you start coughing, especially like when it's a consistent like dry cough, they like so no, not like that.
You know what? That's the thing I hate the most about this coronavirus is it has the most common symptoms of all things. You know, just in general,
hmm
everything. You know, oh, do you have a runny nose and scratchy eyes and a cough and what? Come on, man. Yeah, I do because it's because pollen is a thing. So let me turn the thing down so y'all hear me. So
All right.
all right,
Another week, another
well,
dollar.
welcome everyone. Yeah, that's it. Another week this side of the dirt, they say.
Absolutely.
So, oh,
Let's
all
hop in.
right. Well, folks, has it been a slow week? I don't know. Yeah,
It's been
that's
interesting.
what we think about.
There's been a lot of
Huh?
different. There's been a lot of different things, and not political either. I mean, there's been some political stuff, but a lot of just things going on in general, which is a good and or a bad thing, I guess. I mean, it sucks that some of the things involve people losing their lives, but yet gives us something else to kind of talk about outside of the Trump tweet of the week, I guess.
Oh, is he still tweeting? Is that still a thing?
He has been banned for life, so you can never see unless he creates some other account, which they probably ban that too, or he tweets through someone else.
I'm
uh,
sure Parlor is giving him leeway. I'm not on Parlor, so I'm not, and I don't
they
plan on joining
apparently
it.
are back to some degree. I think they I think they were hosted by Amazon Web Services. Now they're being hosted by somebody else now. So I don't know.
I think I think it's funny sites like that are these ultra conservative sites because the liberals need everything given to them and everything like that, right? It's like there's always been this air of conservatism and all the money that they make because they just work so hard and they do everything and they have all the money. And the liberals don't have anything. They got all the elites and they're just handing it off to the poorest, right? But it's like, no, that's not how it is at all. I mean, majority. I mean, I think there are a lot of conservatives who have a lot of money. Yes, but
Yeah.
I think there's even more conservatives who have nothing, and they live right off of the government, just like you all claim no one else does. But I digress. We're not going to get into that sound. I mean, I think it has been refreshing not having the daily Trump tweets and not having the fuss, the daily Trump war of disillusion and everything along those lines. So I'm happy. I'm happy when it comes to that. My mind is free. I'm not jumbled. I'm not wondering why people think a military tribunal is going to take over uh, Washington D.C. and overthrow the Biden administration to reinstate Trump as the overlord and savior of the country, and then knight him with Voltron's sword. And
It's this the stuff that they come up with, man. It baffles me. I'm serious. I don't get it. It I don't know.
it's yeah. I mean, sometimes you're just like, hey, did you hear yourself when you said that? Did
Yeah.
you read that before you posted it? Because even if that was a thing, why would you want the military to take over your government?
And
The government that you claim you need to bear arms against if things like this happen. it's
that's
like
it.
what is going on? Okay, well, maybe I'm the crazy one. I could be. Maybe.
Oh well. I you know what, speaking of which, you brought up, you were talking about something, so this reminded me of a meme that I seen. So now we got this newfound technology. I'm gonna see if I can.
Oh, that share button right there has made us get into we're Andre 3000 digital.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to log in here and share my screen. Um, can I do that? Oh, can I? How do I make someone else? So I say, and so a reason why I bring that up, right? So we've got, oh gosh, so stimulus checks were sent out this week, right? So people start getting their stimulus and things were rolling.
When's mine coming, government? Biden. I need a direct line.
You haven't got yours yet?
No, so the last one we got via check, so I'm assuming we're gonna get this one via check.
Okay. So you didn't want
Yeah,
to go.
because 2019 we owed, so I had to send some money to the government. So the direct deposit was not a thing for my last one, even though this year I will be receiving a return.
Mm-hmm.
Thank the Lord.
They my dad, so he was um he never uses, he's gotten a return, but he's always had them mail them a check. But this time Navy Federal sent him a thing and said, well, we're just going to deposit in your account. And he was like, well, how'd they get my account number? And he's like, they were like, I don't, we can't tell you why or how. The government told us that we needed to send this out to y'all, so that's just kind of what we're gonna do, and you just got to kind of take it. I don't want the government have. Well, they got your account number, so now he's like, I don't know how they did that or where that goes or how that works. I'm like, I don't.
You should have been like, Dad, it's Navy Federal.
I mean,
Keyword Navy. Navy and Federal are both in the name. It's in federal government. Where I mean, yeah. So okay.
I don't know how to allow someone else to share.
The other person has to point and say share screen.
All right, so now maybe that I just made my other thing that I logged into the host in order to do that. Okay. So now we say all that to say, so I found this meme, or I seen this meme, and this is regarding kind of what George was talking about, and what Republicans and the kind of things that we have to kind of how we point. Now I done lost the damn meme. I just had it in my dang on. Where did I have it at? All right, so now this is really awkward.
This is the origin of Where's George, because we don't know where is the button that we need.
The crazy part about it is I had it like before I started talking. I was like, oh, here it is.
You gotta start saving things. That's whenever you have something up on Facebook and then that thing goes away, you refresh. Oh, there we go.
There we are. Can you see it?
Yep.
All right. So it's so again, so here's kind of when I was trying to get in that. We talk a lot about the stimulus, and there was all this conversation around the stimulus, and it's all the why it took so long, and a lot of it because the stimulus, out of the like $2 trillion, right? There isn't a majority of that isn't cash payments to Americans. The majority of it is going towards different special interests, and I've been reading kind of some of the things, and it's great stuff, right? So you got pseudo reparations, is what Lindsey Graham called it, for Black farmers. You had some other stuff, but the reality is, and this is why it's called a stimulus, is because when you give quote unquote poor people money, they spend it. And that's the whole point, right? It's so you can, and so that's why when you're talking about stimulus and you hear Republicans talk about, well, we just don't need to be giving people money. It's not necessarily just giving folks money in a sense, right? It's what can you do to spurn growth? What can you do to spurn people spending money? What better way can you spend? Can people spend money other than giving poor people money? And that's what they do when you give poor people money. Now, granted, there's a lot of people that fall into the categories that qualify for stimulus that don't need it, right? They're not going to spend it on buying stuff. They're going to go invest it, or they're going to throw it in a savings account, or they're going to go do other stuff. But a good portion of America is going to do exactly what this meme kind of represents, right? They're going to take the money, they're going to spend it, and they're going to make rich people richer, which I don't know why at the end of the day Republicans fight it so hard. It's ultimately going to benefit them and their constituents the best. Why wouldn't you say their constituents? Their donors the best. The difference between Republican constituents and their donors, two different classes of folks.
Mhm.
But yeah, I seen this and I was just like, I can't. It doesn't make any sense to me on why, this particular group is so against helping folks kind of get back onto their feet. So
No, you're 100% right. And and I think we should qualify poor. Poor does not necessarily mean you are in the dredges and things along those lines.
yeah.
A middle class family, your family that probably makes what's a good guess? Somewhere in between combined, I will say family, $80,000 to maybe 120.
Yeah.
And if it's a single parent or a single family household, you're probably looking at somewhere in between 50 to 80, I would say. And so basically, if you ever want to look up or kind of just Google the velocity of money, it just basically says, hey, people who are within a particular I guess class of an economic class, typically their income, as you move up, you don't need as much of your income to fund your daily activities. So if you're someone who's living in your house, I think the average I guess income is about $40,000 or so. So if you're making $40,000 and you're living in Metro Atlanta and you go and get the stimulus, that stimulus is going to be used 100% for something.
Yeah.
For the most part, you're gonna put it in it. You're probably not gonna be able to save. You're probably behind on something. You're probably buying groceries. You're probably catching up on bills, things along those lines. Where if you're I don't know, if you're making six figures, but you're outside of Metro Atlanta and you're living out in, Jackson County or Lowndes County or some of these other counties that don't have a really high cost of living, hell, even in that 40% or 40K range, you probably don't need to use all of it in order to, sustain your life, which it really comes down to. And so, and I use $40,000 as a benchmark, but I mean, there's plenty of people who will make $80,000 who will need this money and need it 100% to, pay bills, to stay away from bankruptcy, to feed their families, so on and so forth. And so that's why, when we say stimulus, you obviously want to get it to the right people. You don't necessarily want to give it to those people at that level that will not spend it again. Yeah. But at the same time, you want to cover enough people, and you want to hit, that ceiling where, if the highest people, that get it, take it, and they spend a portion of it, and then they maybe even save it, it's still good in that aspect, right? There's no reason to give The Rock, $1,400. The Rock is gonna, put that on, I don't know, a wheel or something along those lines. Exactly. And that's just what it is, right? Or he'll just put it up under his mattress if he has mattress money. I'm assuming since The Rock. Since I did not know, when I watched Young Rock, I did not know The Rock was half black.
Is he?
So, absolutely. Absolutely. He is half black, half
Hawaiian.
His daddy is, what is it? The Showtime Rocky Johnson? Rocky Johnson? The wrestler?
Wow.
Black man. Black daddy. Hawaiian mommy. So if you haven't watched Young Rock, watch it. It's pretty cool.
Good
I
show.
mean, it's kind of family feel good show. I'm not gonna say it's like an Academy Award or Grammy Award or whatever awards for TV, but it's a it's a good little show.
Good little show.
Nostalgia for sure. You get to see some wrestlers.
I did my part with my STEMI, and I went to Herbs today and recycled the black dollar. Bought literally the last full slab of ribs and half chicken that he had.
I'm sure people behind you is looking at you like, you better get to your car.
Well, yeah, it's funny because I got out the car to go in there. He was like, yo, we don't have anything left. And he gave me his card. He said, next time, just make sure you call, make sure we got something, whatever. I was like, all right, dang. I was like, I had my mouth set. I was ready to go. And then he's like, wait. Some guy came from the back. We got 3 slabs left. And it was already like 2 people already there. So I rolled up and I was like, give me a slab and a half of chicken. And we just, I could have been greedy and got all 3 slabs, but like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. It was.
Are they doing curbside over at Herbs?
No, you gotta go in.
Okay, I didn't know. I mean,
now they do make you wear a mask, and he was very adamant because there was a guy that, not a guy, but a family of 3 that came in, and the little kid didn't have a mask on. He was like, "Yo, everyone gotta have a mask coming on in here," and they were like, "What are you talking about?" Like, stay outside if you don't come in. So
right. There's 2 of y'all with a mask. One of you don't got one.
Huh? Have you been in? When's the last time you've been in Herbs?
Well before the pandemic.
I swear, like when I looked in the back, like there was like bunk beds. Like I think the little Mexican family that serves. I think they live there.
And now, if you get Herb shut down because of your inflammatory comments right now, I'm gonna be hot.
I mean, maybe it's a break room with bunk beds, but I'm telling you, like it's.
Yeah. Hey, I don't mind if y'all, as long as y'all slinging them delicious ribs, it don't matter. Yeah. I want y'all up early. I mean, I will say, it makes sense if they're the type, and I want to say, I've seen the folks at Herbs there on my way to work, and I usually am passing by there, around 8 o'clock. I know they don't open until about 10 or whatever, but I've seen some smoke coming out of there. So, if you gonna smoke your ribs, right?
Well, he said they have a finite, I guess I don't know how many racks they do a day. But yeah, they do so many and they just go until they sell out. One lady came in while I was there. Hey, I just want to get some wings. And I'm like, they got wings here? I'm looking around. It was like, we've never had wings. He said we got chicken, like whole chicken.
Or half.
And sausage. That's it. I was like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, y'all got wings? Oh man, y'all didn't change the game up. See, I guess they realize, hey, here's our specialty, here's what we do. Here's what we do best. We know it's good. Like, but if they ever would have added a menu item, they need to throw some smoked wings on there.
You know what? I think about Herbs and I think about, do you want them to expand or do you want them to stay small? Because, typically in my experience, when you expand, quality starts to go down. Yeah. You start cutting corners. Because right now they're in that little ass shack. Yeah. I mean, when it says Herb's Rib Shack, it's really a little shack. Yeah. But the quality of the product is superb. The best in Marietta, the best in Cobb County. Somebody post something on here. Say, tell me a better place on Marietta, and I'll go over and tell you if it's true. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm putting Herb right next to it. We'll do it live on this show, right here. If somebody, but nonetheless, no, man, I don't know, man. It's because they're in such a weird place too. I mean, the parking lot's awful. I think they're only open. They're not even open. Monday through Wednesday or something along those lines.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. I didn't know they had special days.
I don't think. I mean, this was pre-pandemic also. So
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense though, right? Because they gotta, they gotta get all that wood and probably prep all that meat and all that other stuff they gotta do to get ready. So
well, I mean, do you waste the money paying people for days where you're just gonna have a couple folks?
yeah,
Is there enough people that's gonna be there for your lunch crew and everything along those lines? I don't know, but I think they've done the right thing with finding their sweet spot, like you said, with the products that they provide,
yeah,
and then you know the couple of extra things that are there. I mean, they make it where you almost have to buy a combo meal.
yeah.
Because if you go in there for one side, it don't make no sense, huh?
They got rid of their special, their little rib special.
I told you that.
I didn't know that.
And I told you that a long time
I
ago.
remember that.
Don't act like you don't know now.
I didn't even care when she told me the total. I was like, I was in sticker shock, but my card still came out my wallet. It sure did. I was gonna keep rolling. Shoot, I didn't. I mean, it is what it is. But
Right.
anywho, enough about Herbs. They're not paying us yet, so
I know. We need to tag her. Like, yo, bro, we just put you on, guys.
I'm just saying they are. I say the best ribs in Georgia. I haven't had anything that would say different. So,
What I would. There's one other place that I don't know if I'm going to say that is best. That is better than Herbs, but it's very close. Boy, is it close. And it's out.
is that the place that Sean was talking about?
What place is Sean talking about?
66.
Sean's from New York. Where's Sean talking about? Huh?
There was some place he mentioned, and I was just like, well, I don't know.
I mentioned a place. I mentioned a place out in Fairburn. That's where it is.
Maybe that's what it was.
Place out in Fairburn.
Yeah,
I stumbled over it going to a customer that's out that way. It's the name of the company is called Ohio Hog.
Ohio Hog. Okay.
And they are, boy, they make some good barbecue. And now they have a big, larger menu, things along those lines. But they smoke as well. It gives Herbs a bit of a run. I'm gonna But what we'll do next time we go on a trip, because it's just below the airport. We'll go over there and get some rib tips.
I'm with it.
Yep.
I'm down. Anyway, all right. Let's see what else we got on the menu today.
Oh, everybody's hungry,
right? I'm like Asian food. So, and we can't really ignore it. It happened here in Atlanta. So just this week we had the I don't know what's considered a mass murder. I gotta look up what that definition is.
Oh, but yeah.
A white guy, murderer, terrorist, whatever you want to call him, decided he wanted to go hit up some spas here in Georgia and just go on a shooting rampage. Killed 8 people. 6 of them were Asian women. And just like in true media fashion, right? He wasn't labeled a terrorist, domestic terrorist. He wasn't labeled a murderer. He wasn't labeled anyone that they would have deemed if they were a minority had committed the same crime. He was a troubled person who dealt with sexual. What was it? He dealt with some inability to handle his sexuality, or he was over sexualized, or some bullshit they came up with.
The sexual deviances or something like that.
The sexual deviant. And it just I don't and I don't say it baffles me because we've been here before. We've seen it with the terrorists that shot up and killed the Charlton church. We've seen it with the people the guy that shot up and killed all the people in Las Vegas. We've seen it with the guy that killed all those people in Sandy Hook. Like we see these every time, right? And they are just a troubled youth, a disturbed soul, whatever. but George Floyd is a drug addicted crackhead, heroin, whatever, everything from his past, and he did nothing wrong at all. He was the one that was killed, but he was the one that was demonized. And so, here it is, full circle again. And it's our media, right? It even is the media outlets that cater towards a more liberal arm of the United States still push this narrative of, well, let's find out truly about him and let's talk about him and kind of what drove him to this. Does it really matter? I mean, when 6 of the 8 people you kill are one particular race, and you're going to, I guess, stereotypical places that will house that particular race of folks. I mean, that's kind of
Was it
what.
6 of the 8? I thought it was all 8.
Yeah, it's just 6 of the 8 that were killed, and I say just, but it's one was way too many. But yeah, it was 6 or 8. 6 of the 8 were Asian women. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
It's a sad day. This is, I'm not a proponent of anyone killing or killing themselves. But I mean, if you're so inadequate that you feel like you have to go and kill someone else, just go ahead and kill yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, just get out the way. We can use a space in the world. You know what I mean? That is ridiculous. Oh, I can't control myself. I can't control myself. I can't control my sexual whatevers. Despite all the resources that you have for sex addiction, porn addiction, all these things, most of them free. But hey, let me go ahead and go over here to 3 different places and kill someone. And then here now, Eugene and I have both, we have both said that we are Second Amendment supporters for the most part.
Yeah.
I think we all agree on, more stringent background checks. But apparently, this kid, I'm not gonna say he's a kid. He's a grown man.
Grown man.
Had just bought this gun. Yep. Just the day before. So now you're making Biden look like a freaking genius. So at least he would have had 3 days to think about it. Had his had the law come into place, restricting gun purchases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Come on.
And that's the reality. And I think they've already proven that case with all the ones that's done this. Is generally speaking, if you have to go through hoops, background checks, and this, that, and the other thing, you generally aren't the ones that are committing these type of mass murders. Now, you're not saying you're not killing folks. Like you've seen it plenty of time before, but it's these ones that kind of just snap. Something happens, something triggers them, something, whatever. Oh, let me go get a gun so I can go do what I want to go do. It's that sort of narrative. And so, as a proponent of the Second Amendment, as one who keeps that thing on me wherever I go, I have no problem if state of Georgia, United States of America, Paulding County, says, Eugene, you got to go register your gun, so we know which ones you have. Hell, the state of New York already knows, half of the ones that I have, because I had to register them there, and it was not a big deal, right? I registered so I can get more or whatever I wanted to do, and kept it moving. And so it's those of us who are going to be law-abiding citizens, who are going to take the right of owning a gun seriously and treat it as such and respect it as such, don't care. It's not going to bother me. If I decide, hey, you know what, I want to go pick out, I want to go get me a new 45. Well, I don't need it today. If it takes me a week to get it, then it takes a week to get it. There's no rush. What rush? Why would someone absolutely need to get a gun today? Other than
the only, in my opinion, the only reason that would happen is if it was necessary for your activity. and hopefully that activity is not going around killing people. But I mean, if you need, and I have not read the bill, so I don't know if it restricts everything. But I mean, someone calls me and says, "Hey, you need to go. We're gonna go duck hunting. I need to go out and get a shot at
Yeah.
it." Well, are we going tomorrow? If we are, then I can't come because I got 2 days.
Because generally that won't happen, right? And I'm like, hey,
I mean, literally, that should be something that's planned and should not be a last minute thing.
Exactly.
But I'm being facetious and kind of, just nitpicky when it comes to that. Those should be very, very low instances.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't know of an instance where you would need a handgun right
Yeah.
now. I mean, the shooting range will be there. That's how I look at it.
Well, speaking of Second Amendments, I guess we can slide right into it. So there was a young lady, Nakia Harper, I think that's her name. And I'll let George kind of take this one, but I'll set the scene for you. If y'all don't know, there's a black lady out of Nashville, and essentially she was being pulled over. She resisted. She shot a police officer. She got shot, died, or whatever. And so now you've kind of got, I'd say, I don't really, you know what? I can't even say the black community is divided on this one. I don't know. What do you say about it first?
I don't know what the community is about right now. I haven't really paid much attention and I really haven't heard much about it as well. I saw the video today. I will say that I will not be on the supporting side of the victim personally. We asked for police to do everything in their power to not have to go through the deadly force bit until their lives are basically in danger. And I feel like this officer did that. So call me what you want, but I bet you won't debate me about it. You know what I mean? Because I saw an officer, allow a young woman to get back into her car too many times, to pick at whatever she wanted to get, grab her purse, take things out of her purse, ask the lady to just sit in one particular area, chase the lady around her car. She got in her car, got in the, everything like that. Had his tased her. She was, she took the tase. Once he let go, he was trying to grab her, pull her out. She went and grabbed a pistol out of her glove compartment. What is he supposed to do? I am not one to give people excuses just because they look like me. Yeah. We have to. There's a bit of personal responsibility on all of our ends that we have to account for. And once you make that decision, you have to live with that decision. And that's not a decision that I would instruct my child to make. I hope that I have enough trust in my children to, have them very knowledgeable when it comes to firearms and firearm safety and things along those lines when it's time. And I want them to carry in some form when they get older to protect themselves and their families. But this wasn't protecting yourself. I don't care that you're scared. I don't care about all these other things. You created the situation as it was. Yeah. And then once you pulled the gun out and then had to have the audacity to shoot at the guy and then shoot the guy shot back, or vice versa. I don't care. I mean, in that case, once again, I think the officer did everything he could. Yeah. Talk to you, you stopped. You weren't listening. He pulled out his taser to warn you. Here you go. You ran, right? He didn't even tag you until you were in the car, and he couldn't see everything that was in the car, and then you pulled a gun. That's on you, unfortunately, on that part. And once again, I can't support the victim on this one. You won't see me debating any crazy rednecks about I don't know, trying to make someone a martyr or anything along those lines or whatever. This person was just in the wrong.
Yeah.
And we in the Black community should not be divided over. We should call what's wrong is wrong, and just leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's just my take. So, what do you think?
No, I'm with you 100%, man. When I seen the video, and we kind of discussed this earlier, but the officer did everything right in my eyes. He gave her every chance under the book. As you said, like while he just stopped her, he let her go back to her purse and get a cigarette or a lighter or whatever. She
everything
kicked it. He found weed in her purse and he's just like, oh, okay. Kind of just whatever. Like it wasn't like and I don't want to say the word she deserved what she got. She earned what she got. I'll say that word. She earned what she got. And I say that in the sense that she did everything wrong. He did everything right. And she provoked him. She put herself in a situation that caused the officer to have to defend himself. And I say a lot, and some of the more high profile cases, you see the officers are quick to act without actually being in danger. He was in danger. He was shot. He was shot first. Like, what else was he supposed to do? It wasn't like she pointed the gun at him. It ain't like she had the gun on the seat and he shot her. It ain't like she had the gun in the air in her hands or her hands in her pants. It's not like she had a cell phone. She shot him first. What else is he supposed to do? Oh, man, ma'am, I'm sorry. You shot me, but I just need you to please just calm down. Like, just, and so it's unfortunate that, fortunate for him, he's a trained shot. So when he shot, she died. Now she didn't die instantly. In the video she drove off. But he was, unfortunately for him though, he was able to be saved. He didn't lose his life in that. And so it's just a, which, and also they said it shot. I thought like now, don't take this the wrong way, and I'm not trying to, how do I phrase this, but they said he was shot like right underneath the body armor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it's supposed to cover like all your major organs, but he is a bigger guy, and so I don't know if maybe like he is just kind of like a, like one of them Dak shirts. This is why I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm being like, I don't know if they have like full, because the man got a belly, like he had a nice round one, and I don't know if it just didn't cover all of it or what that was, but I would hope that if you're gonna have officers of that size that's on the beat, they probably need to make sure that they have body armor that protects their full organs.
That dude would need a body moo. But hey, I wanted to ask about what the story was. If you could put that link in the thing for, so she can see that. It's a crazy story. Yeah. Once again, you never want to see anyone lose their life, but sometimes people kind of ask for things that they don't really want, and so I cannot support the victim on this one. I'm sorry. I'm not on this fight when it comes to it. But no, you're exactly right. I have said on a number of occasions, you taking on the role of a police officer means that you are taking into consideration, a job that is very stressful, and you have to assume a lot of risk, right? And so, yes, I do expect officers to see a gun before they shoot, not assume a gun, not yell gun just because they want to shoot someone, or something along those lines. I want you to see a gun, and I want you to see a gun in a hand. I want you almost to see a gun, almost like this guy, in a hand pointed towards you,
Yeah.
or swinging towards you, things along those lines. That's the problem I've had with things in the past, especially ones where, oh, there was no gun found now. Well, you didn't see one. Why'd you yell gun if you didn't see one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because, if you don't have the nerve for it, then you're in the wrong business.
Then it's it.
But this guy, like I said, I give him all the accommodate, pats on the backs or whatever. When it comes down to all the effort you took to not have to essentially shoot this lady, but she forced you to it, and hey, you won't hear nothing from me, but it's a sad situation.
Yeah.
Sad situation. Ryan, you probably didn't hear much about it because it wasn't on. It was. I don't think it was. It's not a big mainstream thing because I think
the consensus is he's good on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, I said this before. At the end of the day, we as Black people have to understand there's a different set of rules for us, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks to say that. It absolutely sucks to have to navigate through life like that. But the reality is there's a different set of rules. And so we can't make the same movements. We can't utter the same words. We can't act the same way as our white or other racial counterparts when they interact with the police. As much as that may suck, and I've got the same. Yes, you have the same rights as your white Americans, but you don't have the same perception as your white Americans, and that's the difference. Your rights. Yeah. Oh, you can scream. You got rights all day long. You can scream. I don't have to show you nothing. You can scream this, that, and the other thing. But at that day, that time, that police officer is the judge, jury, and executioner if that so happens that way. And you have to respect it as such, and you have to understand that regardless of what your rights are, that's at the end of the day, that's their decision to make as a human being. And so you need to act as accordingly as even it's, and my parents taught me the same thing. I'm sure yours did. Yes sir, no sir, keep your hand on the wheel. Hey, I'm going to reach for this, watch me, or make sure you have everything together before they get there. Don't go reaching for stuff like that's just what you have to do. Like you gotta, you just have to be more vigilant. And that's what we as Black people, like, I get it. Oh yes, do we want a world where we don't have to live that way? Of course. But until we find a way to start penalizing police officers, police unions, police departments for acting in such a way right now, we kind of just kind of take it for what it is. So, Black folks, it is what it is. You just got to act differently. You got to move differently. You can't do that. And so, I don't know. All right, what's the last one on for today? You know what? Well, we'll save that last meme. We'll save that for another one since we're on a different. We're talking social stuff now. So, the last one. You know what? Oh, you know what? All right. So you didn't know too much about it, but we can talk about it in general. Is Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson. If you don't know who Deshaun Watson is, he is the starting quarterback, great quarterback for the Houston Texans. No, don't. Okay. He's a good quarterback.
Oh no, he's great.
He is.
He should be. He will be. It will be. I predict in 3 or 4 years, it will be him and the cat from from Kansas City.
Oh, Mahomes, $1 billion Mahomes, or $500 million.
Mahomes and Deshaun Watson will be the new Brady and Manning.
Or Manning? Okay.
Peyton Manning. Yeah, they will have to usher in the next wave of great quarterbacks. Oh yeah. But go ahead. Sorry. Story.
No, I'll set the scene and you can throw in your opinion. So,
Okay.
for those who don't know, so Deshaun Watson, starting quarterback for the Houston Texans. Houston Texans are not good. Haven't been good for a while. Never really kind of been good. I think they may have made the playoffs a couple times over the last few years, but they've been inconsistent to say the least. And so, the average lifespan of an NFL player is what, like 3 years or something like that. Now quarterbacks generally have a longer lifespan, but those are more reserved for your pocket quarterback. So your Deshaun Watson, who can throw, is considered a mobile quarterback. And so, anywho, he wants to leave Texans. He wants to be traded. He wants to go somewhere other than Houston. And up until this time, 2021, you haven't heard anything in the regards of sexual misconduct, sexual innuendos, anything about anything about Deshaun Watson. But Deshaun Watson has been very vocal lately about that he does not want to play in Houston anymore. And so if you don't know how these contracts and things works, NFL players under contract, they can be traded at any time, or it's almost like kind of slavery, right? Like they can be sold and bought and traded to other teams at the owners. God, that is like fucking slavery. Damn. At the owner's whim. And so, but if they're under contract, they're just under contract. And so generally when a player gets to the point where they don't want to play for a program, what you don't want is a hostile locker room. And so generally those players will get what they want and they'll get traded out. However, Deshaun Watson is as George put it, the starting quarterback, great guy. He's top 5 quarterback currently in the NFL right now. So, most teams don't want to kind of let that go. So anywho, I've set the scene. So now we've got this all-star quarterback, and now he is at sexual assault claim number 17, I think he's at.
17? I thought he was on number 2.
17 women. And I'm sorry, not sexual assault. No one's accused him of rape and or touching them unwillingly. He's only been accused of forcing people, coercing people,
forcing or coercing. There's two different
coercing folks into doing sexual favors for him,
okay.
And kind of, I don't know, say bribing or like, one girl, a couple of them said he showed them his penis, and he didn't force himself onto them. He just exposed himself.
Okay.
And all of these are massage folks. A lot of them are massage people. So I don't know. What do you think? You smell conspiracy theory?
Yes. I want to think of Deshaun Watson as being a good guy, wholesome guy, and I still think of him in that aspect. I know it doesn't probably make much of a difference, but knowing, he's one of these kids that was a beneficiary of Warrick Dunn's foundation, where basically he puts single mother families in homes.
Oh,
right?
really?
So they have. Oh yeah. And so it's very hard for me to believe that a guy from that type of background, would do something like this. Now I know it happens all the time, probably, whatever. Mm-hmm. But my thing is, it's not until he decides he wants to go that now he has all these problems, right? And then my question is, so I didn't know about the 17. Obviously, I thought he was on accusation number 2 or 3, maybe. And these were all people from a particular massage, I guess, group, company.
So they were all the same profession, I guess.
Okay. So I guess my question is this: how many of these were reported, literally reported, not backdated reported, during the time these people were doing it, right? You know, Deshaun did whatever you quote unquote said, and so that same day you called into your boss and said this happened. I need to report it because I want I don't feel that it's right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I believe that the Texans have enough money to pay these people to say a lot of things? I absolutely do. And do I think that they would do that? I do. I absolutely do. Um, you know, I would put the potential loss of money from their organization by losing him over them just kind of letting him go. I think that's just what it is. So I'm on Deshaun's side. I just refuse. I mean, once again, one, he's a young kid. I don't know, and I'll always say this about celebrities. I don't know why you would need to do something like this when you're a celebrity. When people just do things for you, to you, whatever, just on the strength of you being a celebrity.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Why would you even risk your career doing something like that? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Now, unless Deshaun comes out and says, or there's something that is really damning, really evidence opposed to hearsay. I'm good without believing any of that stuff. And I hope he gets through all this stuff. And I hope if he has an opportunity to clear his name and really shame the organization that's trying to do this to him, then he should. Absolutely. So I don't know. What do you think? Since you know a little bit more about it than I do.
Well, first, let me clarify. So I had to look it up when you said that. So it was Andrew Cuomo that has the 17 sexual assaults, and Deshaun Watson is at the 3. So I got
17.
I got them mixed up.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're not talking about New York.
3. But yes, I was just reading it while you were talking, and so it's 3 separate instances. One, the young lady said that he was getting a massage. He turned over on his stomach or on his back. He only had a towel over his genitals, and she was giving a massage. And she said she felt threatened that if she didn't perform oral sex on him, that she didn't know what a man of his power could do. Another young lady claimed that his penis touched her during a massage. And that's the sexual assault. Now, mind you, these are all civil cases, all civil. None of them are criminal. It's all civil. And the other one is just that he made her look at his penis. So I
should not be laughing about this. But what?
Because I want, listen here, if no one is, I am all for women and being able to feel comfortable and having a safe space and to be able to call out men who use their power, money, influence to have power over them sexually. You need to call that out. And I get it. If you're sexually assaulted or in some of those type of environments, it's difficult. So it takes a little while to come through. I get it. I completely understand. But I don't see, it's hard for me to logically put together a situation where someone can force me to have oral sex with them and they aren't using a weapon. They're in the fucking NFL team building.
Hold on. Whoa. I thought all these things were at his house.
The oral sex when he met her at the team facilities. Yeah. So okay. I struggle with that one because even if it just, at what point do you nah, I'm not sucking your dick. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, you want to keep force? Okay, let me go grab my cell phone and start recording, right? And then what we do, or how about I just get out? How about I just leave the room? How about I just go? Like it's there is no I'm sorry, like there like that's just me. I couldn't imagine me being in someone's room and like, yo, suck my dick. And I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do if I don't? Like, I'm not about to stay and go back and forth with. If you're not forcing me by gun or you drugged me or like I don't. It baffles my mind, and the fact that one that you put yourself out there, right? As these three women have had to, they're putting themselves out there, and feminists should be upset too, because you're setting back your cause and you're making your cause that much more. Um, it adds that little bit of doubt, right? There's that little bit of y'all don't have anything to say until now. You know, most people get massages naked. I'm sorry if you've seen the man's penis. Like, it is what it is. Like, if you didn't want to see it, tell him to cover it up, or a part of your contract or whatever you need to say. Make sure that hey, you need to be covered up. Now, Deshaun Watson's part, I will say he owns part of this. At some point, and I don't know why these celebrity men, sports figures, celebrities, whoever, are people who have a lot of monetary things to lose, even the powerful men that have a lot of notoriety to lose. Why do you put yourselves in these situations? There should be so many layers of insulation between you and these IG models, you and these massage therapists. You need to have consent forms. You need to have IDs taken pictures of. You need to have cameras. If this is, the other ones might have been in his house. You need to have cameras set up, full audio, full whatever, and have, hey, look, here's
Little
what.
bow wow it.
Like, you need to protect yourself. You need to make sure that, hey, you know what? You want to come back and say, I assaulted you, bam, run that tape back. Run the tape back, and you can hear everything that we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how they continue to get caught up like this. Listen here, he could easily spend, give somebody $100,000 a year. Your only job is to insulate me from any of these women with consent forms, and it'll be worth it. It'll be because, with this, he may have to pay out some money just to get them to go away. Now granted, it's purely he said, she said, and they're seeking some money and they're just looking for a payout to keep it moving and whatever. But you invest that money into somebody that you trust to say, listen, you need to encapsulate me from all of this bull. You go with me to the clubs. You go with me everywhere I go. You are there with your consent forms, your picture ID. You are a notary public. You are everything that can make this as legit as possible. So
No, see, I didn't know that the blowjob lady. That's what she's gonna get until I hear something different. Was at the facility.
yeah.
And I didn't know the extent to all these. So the other two ladies are saying, one, he rubbed his genitalia on her, and I want to know how that is. Was that a rollover and it hit and it touched, or was it I'm massaging you and then it touched me, but now I'm blaming you because I massaged you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was he made you look. What is making you look exactly? Did he hold your head or had someone hold your head and then pry your eyelids open? Is that the extent to making you look?
Yeah.
But you know what? And when I heard the kind of the first accusations of these, they were saying that like when these were first brought up, money was already discussed in the very beginning. It was like,
Yeah.
hey, you got these accusations, and if you pay out X amount of dollars, then they'll just go away.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, well then clearly these people are just out here for some money. Someone's trying to set you up. It is what it is, right? And once again, it's very difficult for me to believe that once you said, like you said, someone made you give someone a blowjob.
Yeah.
I went to a major university. I think we've talked about it once or twice before. I've had friends who were on the football team. You didn't have to force nobody to do nothing. And that same chick was knocking on doors, was making sure everybody was straight. So you might now were you that person, ma'am? I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Were you that person? You were over here, okay, Mr. Watt, and Mr. Such and such. Everybody else. Come on now, come on. I mean, no, 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 no. You will not get me to turn my back on Mr. Watson. I was hoping when he does open up free agency, Matt Ryan, great and all, but yeah, I want that guy here in Atlanta if that's possible. If there's any way to make it possible. Nonetheless, I still want him to be here. I just don't think. I mean, Michael Vick kind of messed up the black quarterback in Atlanta, so.
You have a field day.
Yeah. So I hate that this is even a thing. I will not believe it until I see more evidence because I'm not letting.
There is none, right? There's, in fact, here, you know what? I'm gonna where'd that thing go? I'm gonna read you. Here's her words directly. The plaintiff alleges that she felt intimidated and threatened, and she was afraid of what someone like Watson can do if she did not submit to his demands. She says in the lawsuit that Watson made it clear repeatedly that he could help or hurt her career. The lawsuit alleges that Watson verbally forced the woman to perform oral sex on him, and she did that. She did not consent.
Verbally forced. Okay. I mean, once again, ma'am, there's a difference if you didn't want to do it and you're worried about your career as a massage therapist, the booming business of massage therapy. And I'm not even downing it because massage therapists literally can start their own thing whenever they want to, wherever they want to. Yeah, maybe you got a good gig over at the stadium, but I doubt that you are the head person if you're giving massages at at the facility.
Well, he met her on IG. She's the IG model.
For real?
That gives massages. He flew her out to Houston. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
You know what? Get out. I'm about to be like I'm about to be like Kevin James. Get off my phone, man. Get off my phone.
You got flued out and come on now. Anyway. Yeah. I
Clout chasers. Now, Deshaun, I will say that's on you, bro. Stop doing that stupid crap, man. Go and find you somebody over here at Juju Spy or something like that.
Exactly.
And just come on, bro. Come on. I'm assuming he's not. I mean, it hurts, and I mean, maybe it's better. I don't know if it's better or worse that he's not married, and I'm assuming that's what he's not married.
He's not married, but he has a long-term girlfriend. He's got like a high school sweetheart type deal.
Yeah, she knows the business and deal. I mean, that's kind of how I look at these relationships when you get to a certain status. Yeah. And then I don't know, man. That's nope. That was dumb on your part for bringing her in, but I don't believe it. Sorry, not happening. So, well, hold on. So she was worried about what a man of his stature or his reputation or whatever could do to her as an IG model freelancing as a massage therapist.
If she did not perform oral sex on him, the impact that he could have on her career. And
an IG model
as an IG, that would mean that he would have to publicly, put something out there. Y'all, man, she wouldn't suck my dick, so y'all come on now. Like, who is he
Right,
gonna like?
right. Like you're gonna get a one Yelp rating or something. Come on, guys. No, man. No, man. Cancel me on that one. Thanks. Nope, not today. Not today.
Oh well. All right,
All
folks.
right,
Well,
that's enough.
we beat that one, but oh shit, I shouldn't. That was not the right transition. Blame it on the allergies. My eyes are itching and my nose is stuffed up now. And
Got that Rona.
Stop. I didn't even have these symptoms when I had the damn Rona. So, oh man. Anywho, but yeah, so we'll pick back up next week sometime. I'll be in Virginia, but I'll have my computer. So, actually, is it next week? We got the special. No, when do we have the special guest? Is that next week?
Oh yeah. Hold on. I thought that was in April. No, I think we still got another week or two before.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so next week would be the 28th.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the week after that.
Special guest.
Yeah. So at the week after that, we got a special guest.
It'll be super special to make us schedule something. We don't schedule nothing. We don't even schedule these hardly.
Exactly. So we'll have to make sure we have some topics for her. But we did have something we're gonna talk about this week.
You better give her some homework, huh? What'd you say?
You said give her some homework.
Yeah. Don't. I'm not getting ready for nothing. What are you talking about? This is what we do.
I'll send her some stuff to look over, so she'll know what we're going to talk about. I'm assuming there'll probably be something around your boy Kevin Samuels, or we can talk about. We should look into what's that guy's name? Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about him and
Derek Jackson or something like that.
Yeah, Derek Jackson. That's it. So we'll talk on her. And then next week we got we had a topic for today. We kind of rolled it, but we'll talk about that next week. So come back, enjoy the conversation, interact with us, and hopefully we can get this thing rolling.
Cool.
Till next
time.
See
you next week.
I got to put my glasses back on so I can see. And